Hello, this is the LEGO Star Wars Rogue Shadow set from 2008. This is the main personal transport ship from the main character of Star Wars The Force Unleashed, the video game, the original one. And that game, in turn, was probably my favorite from the Star Wars universe that didn't involve just flying ships around. My favorite that involved actually playing as an individual going around on the ground. That individual was Starkiller Galen Marek, the secret apprentice of Darth Vader, and we'll take a closer look at these figures in a few minutes. The Rogue Shadow itself, the real thing, if you will, in universe, was unique, aggressively asymmetrical, and had a little bit of transforming feature for when it landed, something that was common in the Star Wars universe and is to this day. I think that LEGO did a pretty good job of capturing the overall shape, the important aspects of it, the important, memorable things. So when you look at this, if you played the game, you would recognize the ship and you wouldn't immediately say, wait a minute, that's wrong. The coloration, I think, is right. You know, they got a little combination between the black and the dark gray, a little bit of light gray in there as well for some parts, I think, that were not available in dark gray. But overall, it works well shaping wise. And the major transforming feature, the way it is right now, is not quite right, if you will. It's not fully its landed mode. This back here, this pod would rotate forward, and it was geared to bring the winglets up. So this now is a proper landed mode. That's the way that it's supposed to look when it's on the ground. And when you see it from a little bit lower angle, it makes a little bit more sense and also looks a little bit more familiar, again, if you have played the game. Now this one, when it goes into its flight mode as a LEGO model, bring this back, I'll just show you the mechanism right there. And they intentionally allow the yellow to show through there because there actually were some glowing elements there on the real ship that were basically yellow in color, so that actually makes sense in this case. It's not just kind of showing color that really ought not to be shown. And the landing gear could fold up like so, come up into, you know, a fairly relatively flat profile, which is much better. Now that looks pretty sleek. That looks pretty cool. And the thing is very swishable. It's very easy to hold. You know, feels durable enough. It has a lot of things that are attached in awkward ways, but they're done with enough strength that I think that the design is pretty good for play, you know, and actually just making the thing fly around. And it looks good. It looks like it has a good balance. It looks kind of believable to me. I like that. It looks nice as a toy and as a display item as well. But there were more things that could be done with it. There were more things that were hidden away with it. These panels, a lot of these panels were able to open up. So here, sorry about the squeaking in there, but this one opens up and would offer you a couple of weapons that you could use with your minifigs. That's nice. There's a little lever over here, and you turn that, and a couple of missiles would show up. So you can bring this all the way back. Now those wouldn't actually shoot, but you could pull them out and then fly them along. So they're just kind of sitting in there, but I think that's fine. You know, something to just grab onto. They're nicely hidden away, doesn't take away from the look of the thing, and using gray right here rather than some bright color, blue or red or something, I think was a good choice. It just kind of fits in, almost feels like greebling, if you will. And there's another little lever over here, also very well hidden away. That brings out the Technic competition cannon, which could also shoot, and it had a little button that you could push on that. I think there was probably a better way to hook that up. Did I do that right? I think I did it right, but yeah, I did it right. But that would actually be able to shoot out. You can pull right from here as a trigger. That works really well, and then it folds back away. Very good. And then what else did we have for this one? Of course, we got the cockpit that can be opened up. That opens up like this. That's interesting. Nice. Fits in there pretty well. Unfortunately, you could only fit one person in there, in the flight seat, the main pilot seat there in the front. It looks like there's space to put somebody right here, but there really isn't, because that space gets taken up by some of the structure here when this comes down. So you can only actually fit one person in there, which if you played the game, you'd know it's not quite right, especially for the minifigs that are included with this set. You should have an additional spot there. This area right here did not open up, but I think that for the size of the thing and for how fairly complete it looks from the outside, they put a lot of stuff into this. Look at it from the underside as well, so you can see that just a little bit better. I mean, not a great look there, but decently well covered, and kind of boxed the whole thing with plates underneath and then bricks in the middle. That really helps to make it more sturdy, so it doesn't flex around too much. It just feels good to hold it. Yeah. The minifig version of Starkiller there on the left, I think looks very good, and the print is good with the bandages, you know, the ripped shirt, and it's got a little bit of metallic printing on there as well, and the facial expression. You know, it's very true to the original Lego aesthetic, but it does bring in some of his facial expression that makes a good connection, I think. Juno Eclipse there in the center, the pilot, captain of the Rogue Shadow, doesn't look good to me. It looks not quite cross-eyed, but just like her eyes are way too close together. And the width of the face looks very awkward with where the pieces of hair come down on the sides. It feels like that whole face just needed to be scaled out, just scaled horizontally a lot more to bring it out. Darth Vader, battle damaged Darth Vader here looks awesome. That's a great collectible version of him with the helmet removed like that. That's yeah, that's very good. Good level of detail there. Yeah, it's right. I like it. Unfortunately, no printing on the backs of these torsos whatsoever. Now they did include a nice pair of options for two of these figures. So Juno, you see a little bit more of the hair like that, but they also included a hat off version with full-on hair, and that does look much better. But here I do wish that the dark tan had been toned down. The dark tan, again, pieces of printing there just look a little bit awkward to me. Darth Vader did include his full-sized helmet as well, though. So you were able to get more of or closer to a standard version of him. And yeah, that's pretty cool. It could have used a little bit more detail, I think, on the left side, you know, the right as you view it, but his left side with the parts of the uniform that are ripped off here. Some printing on the leg, his left leg and left arm would have helped, but I think that it's a respectable kind of in-between point between the original, more simple Lego aesthetic and more of what they're doing today, going into more details. Now, you want to see something funny about this bottom half of Vader's helmet here? Look at what part it actually is. They just turned this diving visor or face mask piece on its side, like so. So they put it face down. It's not a perfect fit, but it works actually pretty well. I think it's a very incredibly clever use of an existing piece. You know, I've looked at pictures of this set for years, and I expected it to be very flimsy from just all the awkward angles that they had to put together on this thing. But it's way more sturdy than I expected. And I think that the action features and the transforming features and the opening and changing things work much better than I expected, and they fit in pretty well, again, without detracting from the look of the thing. I think that this was a nice balance between features and appearance. I actually kind of wish I had gotten this sooner. Let me know what you think about this set. Share your thoughts in a comment if you would like to, and I would appreciate that very much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again very soon in the next video.